Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to 30 Days of Sketches. Today's sketch is, it's day 12, and the sketch is by Laura Whitaker. So I started out with some papers that I thought would work well for this particular layout because I'm using a photo from Halloween, so I chose some Halloween type paper. These are all really old. I think that is from Bo Bunny, and it's been in my stash for quite some time. Same with the paper that you see in the background that says Mom all over it. That is actually a Mother's Day paper, but it is also from Bo Bunny. I'm going to use it as well. I'm going to use this brown or craft colored cardstock, and I am going to use that kind of dark teal green color down below as well. And I am gutting the brown, and I'm going to gut the green as well because I'm going to layer these up with a frame behind that really busy black and white. And I think I end up with 3 layers of frame. Pardon me. I think I end up with brown and then white and then the green, if I remember correctly. I really wanted to make sure I had that craft color in there because the photograph, you can see it on the paper there, has a lot of brown in it, and that is actually my son and his girlfriend on Halloween, and they are in those onesie outfits, and he is a platypus and she is a Shiba Inu, but the costumes are like the same colors. The only difference is like the tail and the head on them. I'm sure there's more differences, but when you just look at them, they're not that different. And so I'm like, okay, wait, what are you and what are you? Because you guys look very similar. But it is actually a photograph of them from the back, which it only shows that the tails really are different. So I just wanted to capture that. And I don't know about you, but I love photographs of people from their like walking away or sitting, looking at something. I just think they look cool. So, oh good, look, I didn't put a layer of white in there. I could have sworn I had some white in there, but maybe not. So now I need to create that bottom triangular piece, and in the sketch, it's kind of reverse what I'm doing. I have my solid as the corners, and the pattern paper is in the middle, whereas the sketch is the opposite. But I don't mind that. I kind of like the way that it looks. And I'm not at home while I'm working on this, so I don't have my inks with me. So I didn't want to have, I don't know if this was white core paper. I think it is actually white core. And so I didn't want that white edge showing. So I just used a Sharpie. And I learned that you need to use the Sharpie. You come in from the back side of it. Because if you come in from the front side and you run off the paper, you end up with a black line on your paper. So note to self, come in from the back so that if you happen to kind of go across your page instead of staying on the edge, you go across the back. You see my pen is from the back. I'm not going top down. I'm going, tip up, if that makes any sense. I don't know if I'm explaining that really well, but hopefully you get the point. Okay, so there we go. I just decided to rotate the sketch a bit because of the way that they were walking. And here I am pulling from this Mother's Day paper. I really just want this card. I don't care about the flowers on it. I just want that lighter teal color. It's the perfect color. And then I am going to pull in some of that teal polka dot that's down at the bottom of the paper and some of this brown pattern paper. I thought those work well with the colors that I am working with also. So don't be afraid to pull things from other collections to make them work for what you are working on. Again, that's a Mother's Day collection. I'm using it for Halloween. There's nothing on the back side of this paper that says anything about Mom on it, so it works fine. And I'm pretty happy with the way that looks right there. So going to add my other banner piece to the upper left hand corner, much like the sketch has, to kind of keep with that. And that's where I kind of get stuck. So I play around with this one for quite some time, And again, this is another one that kind of sat on my desk for a while where I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what's going to make it look right. I don't know if I was just kind of in a funk after being at a retreat for so many days and working on layouts for this. These ones, I was not at a retreat, but I wasn't at home. And so I kind of think that maybe that's why I was stumped. Sometimes, when you use a lot of your creativity in one big block, when I come home, I'm like, okay, I'm really tired and I just don't have any creativity left in me. Also, when I go to these retreats, I don't get as much sleep as I really should. And that's not anybody's fault except my own. I don't sleep well to begin with. And so being away from home is really a struggle for me to sleep. Anyway, not that you need to know all about my sleep habits, but that also definitely hinders my creativity. So now I am working at this from at home, and I pulled in this washi tape, which I didn't want to be as transparent as it was. So I put it down onto some white paper and cut it from there. And then I just cut where the ripped edge was. I cut the white off because I wanted it to keep that kind of ripped edge look. And so, I don't know. I think it works well because it brings in a lot of the other colors, although it is pretty busy. So at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, I do end up liking the way that it turned out. Now, I'm trying to work on that little banner piece that is hanging below the photograph in the sketch. I first used my 5/8 inch punch because they looked really small, or the scallops look really small in the picture, but they were just way too small. So I went to my 1-inch punch and then I cut the circles in half and used that. And I like the way it looks better, but I don't like the placement of it underneath the photograph. And I don't know if that is because my photograph doesn't extend below those banner pieces that are below the photograph like they do in the sketch, or what. But my little pennant is going to go up here, or bunting, whatever you call that thing. My bunting is going to go up in this corner off of the 3x4 card, and I like it a lot better. So I'm pretty sure it's because of the placement of those little banner pieces underneath my photos. Like I said, I am inking these pieces up with black soot distress ink. I'm no longer using the Sharpie, and it works fine. So you can't tell the difference really. So I decided to pull out some string, and I am going to run some ATG across it, so that across my little bunting pieces here, so that they can stick to the string enough for me to go ahead and place them on my layout, and then I will add some adhesive underneath them. I do want to put some knotted ends in my string because I think that finishes it off nicely. It's not something I always do, but I do feel like it does finish things off nicely. So I'm doing that here. Now I do know that I want to bring a piece of that same paper up to the upper left-hand corner to bring that pattern across. And I like this pattern because it's very simple. There's already a lot going on in the background, and so it kind of simplifies things, but it still has a pattern to it. If you watch my channel, you know I don't use a lot of cardstock, so I do tend to use things that read as a solid, even though they aren't solid. Although this one doesn't really even read like a solid because it is polka dot. Although that teal does read like a solid, but it is definitely textured. It doesn't have a print on it, but it has like that distressed kind of look to it. And then I pulled out a bunch of dies and I cut a bunch of things, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. These label pieces are, I believe, from Sizzix, and they've been in my stash for ages. I don't even know the name of them, so I can't tell you that, although there is a number on them, so I could look that up. If that's something of interest to you, let me know, and I will get those out and look those up for you. The number 31 in the ticket looking piece, that is from Elizabeth Craft Designs. And I will try to remember to put the links to these down below, or at least the names of them down below, so that you can look them up if that's something that you're interested in. So I played around with the wooden buttons also. Those wooden buttons are from Basic Gray, been in my stash for quite some time. I don't end up getting those on the layout. Buttons are not something that I use frequently, so I don't know. They're kind of a struggle for me unless you have like just the perfect place for them. I like them a lot better in mini books than on my actual scrapbook pages. So I do have a large amount of buttons because I've done a lot of mini books, but yeah, they're not my favorite thing. I did pull out these round pieces. One says hey, one says fall vibes. Those are from Pink Fresh Studio, and I don't even know what collection they're from, but it's an older collection. So okay, I'm popping up those label pieces onto some foam tape, and I'm just playing around here with where I want these things. I thought I would, it's starting to feel really disjointed to me, so I wasn't really happy with that. So I went over to Creative Fabrica. I found these pumpkins that I cut out. I printed them on just my regular inkjet printer and just fussy cut around them. And the nice thing is you can cut them in or print them in any size that you want and make them work. So I'm just kind of playing with those because I know I want this to have more of a Halloween feel. And there's nothing on here that really reads Halloween except those bats and the cat. And the bats flying around were not doing it for me. I don't know. They were not, it just looked really disjointed. So, yeah. So I decided to pull in these pumpkins. I've made them into different sizes, and made one a little more squatty than the other. And then I pull in the leaves that were from that same collection. There are also some mushrooms, and I will pull in a couple of those. And you're going to see that in a little bit, and the link will be down below for this whole printable if that's something that you're interested in. And they have a lot of printables available. So I think I just typed in like fall pumpkins or Halloween or something like that, and a bunch of stuff came up, and I scrolled for quite some time till I found what I wanted, and then I made it work. So, and then that made me a lot happier because now it reads Halloween to me. It did not, or fall at least, it did not read Halloween in any other way. So, pardon me. So I normally would have probably cut out me fiddling around with all of that stuff, but I do want you guys to also know that, it's not always really easy for everyone on YouTube either. We sometimes have struggles too, and sometimes we get writer's block, if you will, and, our mojo goes out the window. And so, it's great that you guys are awesome and patient with us, and sometimes we do have to take little breaks to get our mojo back, but don't feel like it comes easy to everybody on YouTube, and don't feel like you're the only person who ever struggles with your creative mojo or anything like that. It's definitely something that we all deal with from time to time. So you are not alone. And that is really why I left this portion in, and why this video is so long, because, I don't want you guys to think that it's always just easy. So you can see I'm just playing around here trying to figure things out, and eventually it'll work. And sometimes, like if you saw yesterday's video with the cats, sometimes they have to sit for a little while on your desk, and you move on to something else, and then you come back to it and you figure it out. I did not make you sit through watching me cut out all of the little mushrooms. You're going to see some mushrooms underneath that punch that's sitting there when I get that placed. And now I'm going to add a couple other little mushrooms. They are some different shapes of mushrooms, so they're not all the same. And I kind of like that. I like that there's options, and I like that you can size them to however big you want. And so that makes me pretty happy as well. And it did take me a little while to cut all of these things out. I don't know why I didn't think about it, but I could have run them through my scan and cut everything out much faster than sitting here fussy cutting them. But I think because I wanted you to see the whole collection, I didn't use every single thing that came with it. But I wanted you to see that there were all of these things came in one collection. So the leaves, the pumpkins, and the mushrooms. So very fall looking now, and I'm really happy with the way that this has turned out now that I got those pieces on there. And then just for a nod to Halloween, I am going to go ahead and add that black cat back. I also like that the cat kind of hugs the circle of that craft paper. And then I went to make my own title, and it's very difficult to read on screen, much easier in real life. My title is just Platypus and Shiba Inu. It's actually Platypus / Shiba Inu, just because I wanted to call out what they were, and then I will write in the journaling area exactly what they are. I don't make you sit through me gluing all of this down. You've seen me glue titles down multiple times by now if you watch my channel regularly. If not, then go watch a different video of mine and you'll probably see me glue a title down. I did leave a little bit of it in, but not everything. So I didn't feel like it was necessary for you to see like the whole thing come together. You also I could have used stickers for this, but because of the size that I wanted and the space that I had, I decided to just use my dies. And as you see there, I do put glue on the back of my hand because it's right there, very convenient and easy to dip my really narrow letters into and stick them down on my page. It's much easier than going to a piece of paper off to the side, or a acrylic block that you might have put some glue in, or even trying to just line up the glue on the back of the letter from your glue bottle. What happens when you do that is you usually end up with too much glue on it and it squishes out. And so by doing it this way, you kind of dip it in there and you don't have too much glue that it's going to squish out from your letters. So I think this works a lot better. And it's easy to get the glue off your hand. I think we all, as little kids, put glue on our fingers and then rubbed it off. So you know the drill. And then lastly, I just pulled out some enamel dots and decided to put those down. And I'm using just that brown craft kind of color. And I really like the way that looks. So that pretty much is going to do it for this layout. Don't forget to check out everyone else who is playing along with 30 Days of Sketches today. The links are down below for you to go ahead and click over to their channels if that's something that you're interested in. Leave them a little bit of love. And I thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. I will get back to you as quickly as I can. I don't respond daily because I just don't have time daily, but I do respond, and I will answer every single message that is down there, and I do appreciate and read every single one of them. And those I do read them daily. So thank you so much again. And I will be back again tomorrow with another video. And it's another double pager. So just a little sneak peek for you. It's not really a sneak peek, but a little spoiler alert. It's a double pager. See you then. Bye-bye.